My name is Adrian Hayes, and if you're watching this, I need you to listen. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't a ghost story. It isn't just trauma, and it isn't a nightmare. It happened. Every terrifying second of it happened. My brother died yesterday, and at 2 a.m., he texted me. Before we start, subscribe, because what I'm about to reveal may save your life. If anything like this ever happens to you, I haven't slept since the funeral, not even for a moment. People think grief is loud crying, screaming, breaking down. But for me, it's been quiet, a suffocating, paralyzing, quiet, like the air itself refuses to move. My brother, Ethan, was more than my sibling. He was the better half of my life. My defender, my shadow, the guy who stepped in front of every punch life threw at me. And now, he's gone. They told me the accident was quick, that he didn't suffer. But when I saw the state of his clothes in the casket, I knew they lied. I wasn't ready to let him go. I'm still not. Yesterday was the funeral, and last night was when everything changed. I was in my room, sitting on the edge of the bed, scrolling through old photos of us. Ethan laughing, Ethan pranking me. Ethan doing his stupid victory dance after winning a video game. Every memory stabbed me deeper. At exactly 2:04 a.m., my phone buzzed. I ignored it. Everyone who cared about me was asleep, and I sure as hell didn't want sympathy right then. But it buzzed again. And again. And again. Primera picked it up and saw Ethan's name. At first, I froze, and then my breathing stopped altogether. The message preview showed only 3 words. Come outside. Please. For a moment, I thought I was hallucinating, or dreaming, or losing my mind. I opened the message fully. Come outside. I need to see you. That was when my heart started racing so violently I thought I was dying. I dropped the phone. It hit the floor with a thud that echoed through the dark room. I told myself it was a glitch, a delayed text. Someone spoofing his number. Anything. Logical. But then, a shadow moved outside my window. A tall figure, standing completely still. I felt my blood turn to ice. Slowly, I walked toward the window. My legs were trembling so badly I thought they would give out. And there he was, standing at the end of the driveway, barely illuminated by the dim streetlight. My brother, same height, same hair, same jacket he wore on the night of the accident. But something was wrong. His posture wasn't right. His head was tilted just slightly too far to the left, as if his neck couldn't support itself. And his eyes were empty, not sad, not tired, empty. Like someone had carved out everything human inside them. I stumbled backward, choking on a breath that wouldn't come out. My phone buzzed again. A second message from Ethan's number. Hands shaking, Primita picked it up. This one said, "Don't go outside." That's not me. That was when I truly broke, because Ethan had a way of texting. A style. A particular way of phrasing things. The first message felt wrong. Too needy. Too flat. Too unlike him. But the second one, that sounded exactly like him. Every letter, ibity, rhythm, every bit of it was Ethan. I looked outside again. The figure hadn't moved, not an inch. I whispered, "Ethan." The figure lifted its hand. Slowly, as if its bones were grinding against each other. And it beckoned, a simple curl of its fingers, the universal gesture for "come here." My entire body went numb. I should have run, locked the door, called someone, done anything except what I did. I opened the front door. I stepped outside, and the air felt colder than winter, even though it was summer. Cold enough to bite through my clothes. Cold enough to burn. I walked toward him, each step filled with dread so thick I could barely breathe. When I was about 10 feet away, I stopped. He was smiling, but not the smile I knew, not the goofy, lopsided grin he always had. No, this smile stretched too wide, too sharp, like his face didn't understand how to be human anymore. "Ethan," I whispered. His mouth moved, but no sound came out for a full second. Then, "Adrian." It wasn't his voice. It was like someone trying to imitate him, like his voice was being played through broken speakers, distorted, glitching. I stumbled back. That's when it stepped forward, not walked. Stepped, like its limbs didn't fully understand the concept of motion. My phone buzzed violently in my hand. Another message? "Go back inside now. Lock the door." But the figure was already rushing at me, faster than anything that broken-looking should move. I screamed and sprinted back, toward the house, slamming the door and locking it, just as something heavy hit the wood from outside. The entire door shook. Once, twice, 3 times. Then everything went quiet. So quiet I could hear my own pulse slamming against my skull. I backed away slowly until my legs hit the couch and I collapsed onto it. My phone vibrated again. This time, a voicemail from Ethan's number. With shaking hands, I pressed play. The message was only 3 seconds long, but in those 3 seconds, I heard my brother's real voice, panicked, terrified, whispering, "Don't let it in." And then a growling sound, something violent, something hungry, followed by a scream that I prayed to God I never hear again. If you're still watching this, please subscribe. I need you with me through this, because it didn't end that night, not even close. The next morning, I tried to convince myself everything was just grief, hallucinations, my brain trying to cope with trauma. But when I went outside, there were footprints in the driveway. Not human ones. Long, deep, twisted like something walked on bones. Bent the wrong way, I didn't call the police. What would I say? My dead brother came back, but his eyes were hollow and he chased me across the yard. They would lock me up. But that night, I heard tapping on my bedroom window. Slow, rhythmic, like fingers. I froze in bed. My phone lit up. A text from Ethan's number. "It can smell your grief." My breath caught. Then another message. "Don't look at the window." And then something whispered my name outside the glass. But it wasn't Ethan's voice. It was deeper and raspid. "I'm broken," like something wearing his skin from the inside. For 3 nights straight, it circled the house, sometimes scratching at the walls, sometimes whispering, sometimes dragging something heavy across the porch. I barely moved, barely breathed. Each night, Ethan's real voice would send messages. "Don't answer it. Don't speak to it. It learns." Learns. What the hell was it learning? On the 4th night, the texts stopped, and that was somehow worse. The silence felt wrong. I stared at the phone for hours, waiting, begging for a message. Anything. At 3:17 a.m., something new happened. My phone rang. Ethan's name flashed on the screen. I let it ring twice. Then I answered. "Hello," I whispered. For a moment, nothing. And then, "Adrian." But this time, it was Ethan. His real voice, breathing hard like he was running. "You have to listen to me," he said urgently. "It's getting stronger. It feeds on grief. Yours I started sobbing. I couldn't help it. Ethan. Where are you? How are you calling? Don't ask where I am, he interrupted. Ask where it is. My entire body tensed, then I heard it. Behind me. A faint creak, like a floorboard shifting under weight. I turned, slowly. Nothing was in the hallway, but then the breathing started. Not mine, not human. Slow, wet, hungry. Ethan, I whispered into the phone, voice shaking. It's inside. He inhaled sharply. Run. I didn't look back. I sprinted out of the bedroom and down the stairs. Behind me, something moved. Not running, not walking. Dragging. Like bones scraping against wood. I reached the front door. My hands trembled so violently I could barely twist the lock. The breathing grew louder. Closer. Close enough to feel on my neck. I threw the door open and ran into the yard. Barefoot, heart slamming so hard my vision blurred. Behind me, the thing stepped into the doorway. And now I could finally see it clearly. It had Ethan's shape. His clothes. His hair. But the face. It was stretched too thin. Skin pulled tight over bones that didn't match. Like it was trying to look like him, but didn't fully understand how. Its mouth was wrong. Too wide. Too sharp. And the eyes. Empty. Still empty. Adrian. It hissed. I bolted across the yard and into the woods behind the house. Branches whipped my arms. Thorns tore into my feet. But I didn't stop. The thing crashed through the trees behind me. Faster than anything that should exist. I don't know how long I ran. Minutes. Hours. Time didn't exist until I tripped. Tripped. My ankle twisted. Pain shot up my leg. I screamed. The breathing behind me grew louder. Closer. And then the phone in my pocket buzzed. A message from Ethan. Stop running. I froze, too scared to move. Too scared to look behind me. Another message. It can't follow you there. It can't cross the boundary. Boundary? I looked up and realized I had collapsed at the edge of the old cemetery. The Hayes family cemetery. Our ancestors. Our bloodline. The creature approached the edge of the woods and stopped. Like an invisible wall held it back. It hissed, snarled, glitched, and then its face began to change. The bones shifted underneath the skin. The eyes sank deeper. The smile twisted into something predatory. It whispered, "He can't protect you forever." And then it walked backward into the darkness until it disappeared. The phone rang again. I answered instantly. Ethan. What is it? What does it want? It was screaming. I had never heard him cry before. Not once in his life. It wants you, he whispered. It feeds on loss. On grief. On the ones left behind. My throat tightened. Why me? Because you loved me most. He sighed softly. And because it knows you can't let go. I broke then. Truly broke. I miss you, Ethan. I sobbed. I don't know how to live without you. I know, he whispered. And that's why it came. A long pause. Then, quietly, "You have to let me go, Adrian." "No," I cried. "Please, no. It's the only way it will stop." His voice shook, and the only way I can rest. I pressed the phone to my forehead, shaking violently. "I'm not ready." "I know," he said, "but you will be." The line crackled. His voice grew faint. "Goodbye, little brother." "No, Ethan, wait. Don't let it in." The call ended. That night, it came again, standing at the driveway, watching me. Same twisted face. Same broken smile. But this time, I wasn't afraid. I stepped outside, staying just behind the boundary of the cemetery fence. The creature tilted its head. "Adrian," it rasped. "Come here." "I'm not yours," I whispered, "and I'm not grieving anymore." The creature snarled. The skin on its face rippled like boiling wax. "You will be," it hissed. "You all will be." And then it melted into the darkness. Gone. Epilogue, emotional ending. I don't know where it went, or when it will return. But I know this. It wasn't a ghost, or a demon, or a hallucination. It was something older, something that lives in the cracks between grief and reality, something that wears the faces of the dead. I still think about Ethan every day, but I don't grieve him anymore. Grief is what called it. Grief is what fed it. Grief is what gave it my brother's face. I won't let it find me again. And if you ever lose someone, and if you ever get a message at 2 a.m. from the number of someone who's gone, don't answer it. Don't go outside. And for the love of God, don't trust the face that greets you. If you want more true stories, more warnings, and more things like this that you need to know, subscribe now. Because what happened to me can happen to anyone. And next time it might be you getting that 2 a.m. message.